So today we are back talking about cases once again because I really think that cases right now have some of the most interesting things coming up on the horizon here very, very shortly in the near future. I know recently I've made some videos saying that I think this case on the screen right here, the fracture case, is one of the best purchases you can make in the market at this time. Maybe it's not going to be the most insane investment, but I do think it has some very big and very nice potential risk-reward ratios and upside coming soon in the near future. But I got a recent comment that I thought was very, very interesting, and I wanted to talk about today of why not only the fracture case could be a good investment, but also the recoil investment these two cases might both be some really, really strong buying opportunities right now. So that's what I want to talk about in this video today. But of course, first, just wanted to plug my cash trading business real quick. If you are looking to sell any of your CS2 items and turn them into cold hard cash or crypto or any other payment method, you should definitely hit me up over on Twitter. It's going to be the first link in the description below. Buying all kinds of liquid or even, remotely liquid stuff. Obviously, it's a little bit harder without Buff 163 these days, but still trying to actively buy as much stuff as I can. All this stuff you see on the screen, this is all stuff that I've recently purchased. Really, really excited. We've been getting a lot of deals done lately. So if you'd like to join that group of people and get some money from me quick for your items without having to worry about getting scammed or anything weird going on, hit me up and we can probably get a deal done. And you're helping support me, my channel, and my content. The cat going a little crazy in the background. But yeah, with that being said, let's get right into this. So, like I said, fracture case I do think is a very, very interesting purchase right now. With the possibility of a new case or a new collection or new operation or whatever coming very, very soon to Counter-Strike. Again, I kind of do think we are in that sweet spot of new content coming soon. We've had some tweets from... Cat has to just always knock stuff off my desk. We've had some tweets from some of the data miners, leakers, stuff like that in the community saying that they... that there is some things behind the scenes that tell us we're probably going to be getting some type of new case or whatever soon. There we've seen some new skins being put into the queues on the admin side of the community workshop, meaning that Valve is at least beginning to pick out some skins for some kind of something going on. Now, whenever they do that, it doesn't always hit the live server. It doesn't always mean that a new case or whatever is 100% going to come out, but it means that they are at least considering putting out a new kind of operation, collection, case, something like that. And with the most recent cycle of updates that we've been getting, where updates have been coming out towards the end of the month in all these months, like we've seen an update, I believe, at the end of March, April, and May, or April, May, and June, something like that. Within the last couple of months, it's been, the last week of the last few months, we could be getting set up for a big update at the end of July, maybe at the end of August. Again, we have the Shanghai Major in December. Shanghai Major qualifier is going to be like October, November range. So this period right now, the next couple of months, is that big opportunity for something new to be coming out. Not only do we have the leaks of skins being worked on in the backgrounds, we also have the leaks of the twin blade knife probably coming very soon. So obviously if that happens, we need some kind of case or whatever. So there's just a lot of signs. Also the fact that this is the longest drought ever for an operation. People want new content in CS2, whatever. There's just a lot of signs pointing towards a new case coming very, very soon, which makes me want to buy and hold on to the fracture cases that I already own. Again, in my inventory right now, I have some fracture cases. I don't know exactly how many I have outside of storage units right now, but you can see I have a ton of fracture cases. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I haven't sold these. I still own these, whatever. I am going to wait, I think, until a nice little price increase for these fracture cases, because if a new case does come out, obviously a case is going to be removed from the active duty pool. Now, the debate starts because we don't know if it's going to be the fracture case or the recoil case. It's very, very likely to be one of these, because the fracture case is right now the oldest case in the active duty drop pool, and the recoil case is the least opened case in the active duty drop pool. And typically those are the two main criteria for which case is going to get removed from the active duty pool. Valve wants to keep things fresh, but Valve also wants cases that people actually enjoy opening so they can get you to spend money on keys. So that's kind of the two biggest criteria there. So again, I've been kind of leaning towards the fracture. I think it's old enough at this point. I think there's a few more reasons why the fracture is probably going to be removed, but if the fracture or the recoil, either one of those gets removed, I wouldn't necessarily be shocked or surprised or whatever. And the reason why I think these cases are good purchases right now is we can see, what happened with the snakebite case when the kilowatt case came out on February 6th. You can see here, this snakebite case had a very, very nice jump up from 20 cents up to 30 cents overnight when the snakebite case got removed from the active duty pool. So, that was a 50% increase in just a single day. Now, obviously, it's come down since then. The market for cases overall hasn't even been doing that great. And, the snakebite case does have some very, very crazy, supplies and stuff like that, but the short-term gains can be very, very good. And if you would have, bought before the snakebite case was removed and then sold after it got removed, you could have made 30, 40, 50% pretty easily on your money. And that's something I would like to try and recreate with the fracture case or the recoil case or whatever gets removed. But somebody commented on one of my YouTube videos recently, something that got me thinking. It's why I wanted to make this video of, hey, remember back to when the kilowatt case came out, we didn't actually know which case was removed from the active duty pool right away. And that is actually very, very interesting, and it's a good point. When the new update came out with the kilowatt case being released, we didn't know which case was going to the rare drop pool because Valve does not announce these things. Valve just says, hey, there's a new case coming out, and they don't really tell us, they don't give us a full in-depth patch notes. They don't really tell us exactly what's happened behind the scenes. So we actually have to wait and figure out which case has been removed from the active duty pool. And obviously we do that by just looking at the numbers. The people start playing the game. We start seeing which cases get dropped. If a bunch of people are getting dropped fracture cases, hey, fracture is still going to be in the active duty pool. But if a bunch of people, all of a sudden people notice, hey, I haven't really gotten dropped many fracture cases, or a group of people notice that, then hey, it's probably been removed. And this gets a little bit difficult because even when the fracture case or whichever case gets removed from the active duty pool, it's still going to be in the rare drop pool. So it's still going to get dropped every once in a while. So that's why you can kind of get false positives of people being like, oh, hey, I just got dropped a fracture case. It must not have been removed from the active duty pool. But it still might have. There's still like a very, very minuscule chance of getting the fracture case, even if it has been removed. So long story short, what happened back here is if we go to, that February 6th timeline, I think I got this messed up a little bit here. If we go back to that February 6th timeline of when actually the kilowatt case came out, we didn't know if it was going to be the snakebite case or the fracture case removed. And at the beginning, people were not sure. They were like, oh, I just got dropped a snakebite case. Maybe the fracture case was the one removed. And we actually saw the fracture case go from about 34 cents up to 40 cents. Now, hey, once people actually did realize that the snakebite case was the one removed and fracture was still in the active duty pool, the fracture case did drop back down to much lower than it was. So there is actually some risk of purchasing this thing before because prices are probably going to go down, but also there's a lot of market factors and other things going on there. But the person in my YouTube comments was like, hey, you really can't go wrong buying the fracture or the recoil because either way, when that new update comes out, people aren't going to know which one has been removed and both of them are going to spike up. Yeah, you might only have a short amount of time. It might only be a short window. You can see here, this fracture case run up didn't last very long and it crashed back down, but there is actually some potential and some opportunity to sell both the fracture and the recoil cases, at least potentially. At least there was last time. I assume this next time is probably going to be pretty similar because, again, we are not, it's almost a guaranteed fact, we're not going to know right away. It might take 12 hours, it might take 24 hours or whatever to really understand which case has been removed from the active duty pool, and that is going to be good news because there's going to be people speculating, panicking about both the recoil and the fracture case, and prices are going to be going up, if only in the very, very short term. So I thought this comment was very interesting. We can also see, the Desert Eagle print stream. This is a skin that is inside of the fracture case, and we can see here it on February 6th went from $97 up to $107 before coming back down as well. Maybe some of the skins inside the fracture case had a little bit of an overreaction as well, but overall it was pretty flat, so it doesn't look like the skins get affected as much, but the fracture case definitely had an immediate jump up because there were people thinking it got removed, and then it came back down. Again, the snakebite case had the little jump up, and obviously the prices stayed up because, well, they ended up coming back down as well, but they didn't spike down as drastically because it was actually removed from the active duty pool. So this does actually make it pretty interesting. You maybe don't have to stress or worry as much about whether you think fracture or recoil is going to get removed because they might actually both be decent purchases right now as long as you're ready to quickly sell them whenever that new case does come out. And whatever, in the long run, even if the fracture case does get removed this time, hey, recoil is probably going to be the next one removed. And even if recoil does get removed this time, hey, fracture is probably going to be the next one removed, and you'll have another chance, 6 months to a year from now, to sell those off on some kind of price spike. So no matter what, I wouldn't really stress too much. I think cases overall are some of the best long-term investments in all of Counter-Strike. So I think overall this is all pretty low risk and at least medium to decent rewards. So this is why I want to get all this information about cases out to you guys and let you know that, hey, might end up being Recoil and Fracture cases both end up being good purchases regardless of which one ends up getting removed from the active duty pool. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully I catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.